conversation no faso corner. The literal way understanding a bit pick a and say obia ye was certain will be personal vendetta be against the woman ye say Jane Mensa and in crew for no Alaska and some ye can no crap todo and a yeka and some na ye can ye backing with solid evidence I so incontrovertible and unblemished yes support through with this evidence to justify say indeed kwanya ma mena faso all ye nijumadi ni and reflect it obia ese or leading such a sensitive institution like the Electoral Commission Alaska say yeah electoral process in the democracy nyina betimi deep adi ye na adi agiesi ho a election is one of the key things. And my culture say electoral misunderstanding, electoral violence, turning Africa into your friends a lot of places into a killing field. Oko Sudan and as for examples are obetimi citing as for. So the last thing anybody will do is obetimi I use the Electoral Commission. Will weaponize it, the Electoral Commission, and now we use to endanger the prospect of future elections. So as nipa yedwa to her as an nipa who lead the commission no Alaska oba uduma dia we nyina as a reflect at the picture obi a oil referee adwuma. You stand in the middle and working with stakeholders. Critical stakeholders are also input on the involvement in the electoral process, you know, undeniably no would say what they told in China. So these are stakeholders are we referee you work with them in ensuring that the process, the electioneering process is not go smooth. Because Alaska elections are it is not about the EC coming out with a credible electoral process or electoral system, but it is about the people accepting whatever the Electoral Commission put out.
Wow. So
you can decide, so the process I'm rolling out is the best, is of a particular kind. But if people have doubt and they cannot lend credence to the credibility of that particular electoral process now, zero. That is why we are saying, sir, the Electoral Commission in delivering on its mandate, you know, must do so in tandem with ensuring, say, public, you know, trust and confidence will be sustained. Sabaya electoral outcome, no, among for Bediatum, Alaska. Mammy, we shall say so, didn't you, my dear? I say, yet the cofa, yet the better Electoral Commission, any. Wazumu a certain warlike, aggressive penchant tibia. As if says she's at war with some individuals. And why like as I'm not cast away no baya. Nothing will change your mind. Because and I'm going to walk you through a streak and as an event I see Okroma, I bet me lend the credence to this particular claim I make. I say, Mamena doesn't see Electoral Commission as a sensitive state institution or you're charged with the mandate to say, my elections are free and fair. Now, on deliver Ghanaians. Or free says, Benin and Nabina Una, ya pass the Electoral Commission to her. And she feels emboldened to do whatever that she want to do. Because Alaska, if you're really in a position to work, working for people, at least at some point in time, no, the concerns and the welfare of the people at any point in time, no, will be factored into whatever decision we will be making. Alaska, and yes, I know baby. But for quite some time now, she has demonstrated largely said this is a woman with a fragile ego. People with weak ego, no, always and always be, and when they take position, they become so much entrenched. Because on himself or give you up on that particular decision what taking now or before they are, people will see her as a weak person. Okay. So they assume that kind of aggressive and warlike penchant. As no, she's not ready to listen to anybody. I start here, Abraham, you go into your first 2020 elections. I start here with your son's Ghana card. And your Ghana card, you the new register, beba. Alaska, mammy, we buy or shall say call IPAC, Enna, or shall say this soldier for dinner. Electoral Commissioner, or call IPAC. IPAC near deliberative platform for political stakeholders to meet. Na yen church ya dwen, na yen Tomasibra Sebi, Nema, or Nkaiden Tokwasembe no, ye betimi atena as a team. Na yen fan 2 years, na yen tia ho sabe electoral process in Ebekoye. Alaska, it got to a time mammy we call IPAC na or kwa soldier for dinachi as if say ye first George Bush ever city Iraq. Yes. Soldier for dinachi creating a very hostile environment sabi. We are stakeholder now to a minimum drink and then they succeeded in enlisting toy parties and jokers into the IPAC. Decision bar, all that they do is say, yeah, they agree with the Electoral Commission. And where these political parties emerge from Some don't even have offices in Accra, but they appear at IPAC, always in agreement with the Electoral Commission. So these toy parties, I know that they were toying the line of Electoral Commission, because political party yet is business in this particular country. So a boy am IPAC, and this wadi huna yet the buyer, need the purpose and as for a time. So I set a platform as a yet me a di Yahoo Komo Obiaba. That's all rubbish, the essence of IPAC. Now, on for IPAC in Yashi. Now you could do no Kenyans as some, that's a Obia and fine Yajina. And I mention I say situation in society, because political parties are more so easy and nay. All of them have been attending IPAC meetings. So, besides, Ebane said that these political parties will leave the IPAC room and then proceed to go to court, when this whole discussion could have been done with these stakeholders. Now you see for Electoral Commission and working or for the people of Ghana, it is working for the stakeholders. So we the near me Basabia Sans share no any stakeholders but this woman attitude from Teteno Sanity, she never changed. And I buy any room so the new register ever. New register, you heard the disenchantment, the very concerns, because now even ECOWAS charter credit out say when we are going to major election with less than 6 months,
major reform,
major alteration in the electoral documents, and as for no create out after all system now what they ban of credibility, and as for quite questionable. This woman against all the odds, but have a cancer and say Sabi. Electoral Commission biometric register na your biometric data na equipment na you go in Alaska. Say you can say you repair ebe cost you $76 million. Na mum ye kwaye mono dia ebe cost you 56. Ya ni ba ho so ewo kroma na Alaska. Na ya de 390 million Ghana cedis and na ye new register ewo kroma say. And na imani dey another analysis ba say we should not only consider the amount of money a new register. Now, the old one, ya just say no, and also came at a cost. So, throwing that particular thing away, or minor siaboka on that particular score. This woman never listened to anybody. Then they went to court, say, among the Ghana card, na enya available to be passport asebi. Among for nibi because Ghanaians see those things as a traveling document. So, Ghana ni to kwanya. Ghana for to kwanya mo passport to achira kwanya. And as a guarantor system, no, yenim the kind of hulubalua, a creative okruma, but in the end, no, you court money the dance as a sabi, ukra, birth certificate, and guarantees away a Ghana ni. I just saw Ghana card, oh, birth certificate. And I said, what your passport, wrote the birth certificate, and a cocoje, yet now chroma, am such ruling, ever seen to form, am I Electoral Commission, yet the obey Alaska, along the line, this same Jemensa inserted into our electoral process another a procedure be as a friend regional level coalition.
Exactly.
And on that day, all the major challenges now throughout elections it wasn't part of the process. Political parties sorry said no mama, this thing is new. Because it has never been part of our process. And as how charged atmosphere Abraya coalition na se for no man. Ye kasa ye de saa niema no ba ebetimi de ntokwasem na se for ba e ma afareja nkra sorry can say setting up plenty coalition centers could be a recipe for disaster. This woman against all the advice from these experienced people Antiochia went ahead and set up the regional coalition in the 2020 election. They see here regional coalition many of them talk asem ne mente me ho ase na ya kalia boma na nyeye na obi di abeka ho na ya wiem no ni nyina ho na firi baaye. And it was the making and the creation of same J Mensa. People speak wisdom to her. She never listened to anybody. Alaska, after see a year 2020 elections in we no every year piano the Electoral Commission is charged with the mandate say you roll out a friend is saying limited registration exercise ema obia afisia nipa di 18 year because unim the fact that young koto abano doesn't mean say obi hia voter register. For Alaska, so MP wu our constituency which can happen at any point in time. Now so person will contest for MP and answer you should be a registered voter. So obi edi enya kwan en register every year be that your first room must be created. Say in an event the constituency such opportunity beba and now about will be beba impromptu no about what even though 4 years but anything at all can happen. People die. Meboa yet kroma MPs mu ye ma munya away. So amount for munya kwan register in the previous way. What if those people want to maybe go to parliament and say for that year no one roll out registration, they would deny that person because or never voted register unto me and contested for election. So in the wisdom of our your friends say elections no in such a way say some periodically yam for such registration and yes ya bit buy more pap ama man for ye mami we buy after 2020 actually the way Alaska till date how many years in here 3 good years in here ya limited registration baby kroma say and then yaba bedru a pointer you say baby abedru there ya the limited registration exercise ba nti we here 2020 free 2021 2022 2023 you can imagine the number of people sabi omabeka we no ho and when him say kroma political party bi aba win elections so we here margin na edem na akosura 1 million cry the last time it was 900,000.
That's right.
So it is estimated said registration exercise over 2 million people are supposed to register. That 2 million people is significant enough to determine who becomes president.
Exactly.
Because of the interval over the years in your record. So Alaska, it means that it is a very significant exercise. So in doing so, Alaska, you do it in such a way that there will be convenience. Nipa betimi nya kwan na aye ama ne ho ato enti so we electoral commissioner yan court asem I don't want to go into the court.
No, all right.
So yan court IPAC in essence they say yen deliberate yan ti ho ase until say maybe what the political parties are asking are quite stupid and answer is you can't realize it. It's not feasible. In that context there the electoral commission can say okay there may be say but this is the way over the years people are used to it and it makes sense economically. Because my culture, so if you go to some of the districts, like your friends saying north, you need to travel several kilometers before you get to regional offices. And these people, it's easy na come musika and answer why they come musika to travel because obi hard already crowd. And this I didn't register in the area, they can easily walk there. But if they are supposed to travel, and Alaska, somebody did a small survey or can say what travel across all the district registration centers and over machine is 2 penny go on their registration. So just imagine say what your friends at north baby now what me bobo sika now what travel all the way to your district capital over machine you penny yasati tables you Alaska you are racing against time because anajo e so sanko krom there are queues. So what is the guarantee that person on that same day will be able to register and go back? So independent even register now or call back. Who is going to bring the person back? So these are reasonable and sensible questions that we've been asking her. And the electoral commission, man by individual perceived to be intelligent and as for which me I doubt. No, I'm agree na you sure say you create a very fertile avenue. These people will have access by Alaska. That particular thing has been jettisoned. And again, people queuing up at the district and your friends at district capital offices to go and register. No, me Alaska na say me kodu your friends saying center hona me kasa me free. Mente lashibira me se bete lashibia. Why na kodi me ho dance say mente lashibi? Asem no. Why na kodi dance here? Because at the community level no and say at the electoral area level no.
People are familiar with.
Yen nyina enim ya ho. Enti na obehe yesi nipa wo ontia obi anim no. So at that level, no, when they catch you, be say we free hand and register anything. Alaska again, nipa no register na kwani so the electoral commission at the end they can decide to throw the person anywhere. A binum district, a binum from one constituency will end up in another constituency. So if I'm a political party and I want to take advantage of the system, what I will do is say I'll go to a constituency where I think say how there may MPP. Your parliamentarian need to make win extra 10,000 votes. So all you have to do is to ship these people to another constituency, so that they will be able to help. Baby, I will find it very difficult to win, no? And then you bridge the gap. That is the whole brain behind what they are doing. That is the whole secret behind it. Because Hano, it may win 10,000 extra votes go actually. Because at the district level, no, the room to decide where the person is coming from, nobody is challenging your identity because you share district capital when any movie.
And the electoral commission discretion so back to us hand
middle exactly. And even say electoral commission need that discretion and nipa no over catch on wutie because know the day and your local area and I will catch them say somebody will challenge at that level. No, who is going to challenge? Or are they telling us all the electoral areas, they are going to bring people across every town. Now you are dini pa no dance na. So these are the new sentiment among for expressing as a commission, you know. Never when you create doubt. Your job is to ensure so you distill this doubt on the minds of people. Sabaya, there will be clarity on the minds of people. Sabaya, going into the elections, you know, among for agreement better. But the commission has decided, say, see no evil, hear no evil, talk no evil attitude. And I audit her, and I oye the oye, and I cover the abai, the ababe to Alaska. That this track recorder, Abra and Rana makers Abra NDC, presidential aspirant elections, the flag bearership elections. Abra do for Fale, your friends saying, I say injunction our quarter. Young grantee your crown immediately the electoral commission issued a statement telling Ghana for the whole before the letter about the end because I say NDC elections be as if said they were waiting for the letter. Emma Ghana for the more times that nobody has served you, even as some no crowd the preliminary stage. And what is your interest? I know the day, you know, Papa no will withdraw case in answer. So today, electoral commission, there is a factor injunction has been filed. They have rather disregarded these things. But Alaska, one can sit somewhere and say, they are being aided by the court. And that is very dangerous. You see, we are coming from a background of where public confidence in the judiciary, the establishment, the credibility of the judiciary, has been in the tatters, has been in the gutters. People cannot lend any credence to the integrity of the judiciary. I Ghana for you bomb pie say you bet me at this upon seminar a gary judiciary I'm gonna look better. So such a judiciary in Alaska, whenever you are treading, you need to tread cautiously and wisely. You don't do things that will seek to confirm those doubts, those lingering concerns on the minds of Ghanaians because they are track record. And to me, political parties are dissatisfied with the operations of the EC. Nasa meseme de asem no kokota barring how irrelevant you feel the case is. Alaska, my dear American say me co place injunction on the ongoing process.
Exactly.
Nasa me kona oka chere me say Chief Justice to kwan to the date ahye ne bottom e de to kwan sabi. Adwe de dwen e wo hefa. We are in a democracy. Say Chief Justice to kwan or the court to date to kwan. Is that democracy? But when they went there to file, no you say catch you say Chief Justice to kwan. And he has given an express instruction, say, Obia mo Obia date. Now, Alaska, process now a beginning on the 22nd of this month. Now, and the 2nd of next month, you know. That's an idea.
A beginning, that was
22nd of Dabay. Last week.
On the 12th.
Okay, on the 12th now and
on the 2nd
of next month.
That's right.
Look at the time frame. Now, somebody has some air back court. Say me injunct the process. Now say court no dey asem no kosi abra process na end there. What is the sense in this particular thing?
We are 2 weeks after.
And send a court na kwatenase. And whatever be the ruling, that ruling becomes quite irrelevant. It becomes silly because you can't use it to do anything. That in a democracy, in a civilized, in an advanced democracy, a democratic dispensation like ours, where we are being respected across Africa, no, such things in Alaska. It could be a recipe for disaster. And we need to do to ensure, say, the trust and confidence the public repose in our judiciary, at least will be high. But Sanya Mahunu already come to confirm the already lingering concern of doubt on the minds of Ghanaians. The judiciary, is being shepherded or is being manipulated by the executive. And Obikasa, you can't begrudge the person. Because I will come back to Papaya, your friends, unanimous president, former Chief Justice, Obegun unanimous throughout an entire period as a Chief Justice. And I think they're Otifia, meaning the kind of legacy Ojaya said be proud of, because ruling in as a for the by at some point in time under him, the judiciary, by a subject of public and social media mockery. People were ridiculing. We became a subject of, your friends say, public mortification on social media. na amanfo ato omudin unanimous 11 unanimous 5 as if say yakobo omone kotokokobo match such an imguase ni nyina besen koe. So Alaska, such a judiciary, a new person coming in, no, the expectation, but now videos catch us say the new chief justice now Obano or Asundie because we are now call no a good judiciary nenimasi what their performance say no judiciary nyam. So Obano that Asundie no is on her to ensure say or repair the broken trust, the integrity. Alaska. Now obi a repair now to kwan na sa wo de date show bottom the court now ma express instructions say ma omo ma date na sa wo kwa Alaska enti say chief justice to kwan na sa wa yare na order hospital bed so na okokoma na ni so nte ya obi anya court date. Is that what you are saying? Alaska, some of these things are so within any perimeters of reason and common sense, you can't situate it anywhere. So if we have a whole judicial system, a defiant common sense, a defiant logic, a defiant wisdom, now the poverty of logic and intellect in there, in some more day to abontain as for Babontina, what is such a mind, Alaska? Wakuma end to two. And over the years, Yahudi are also in the sub-region. Some of the countries are neku ACC because either judicial manipulation or your friends say electoral manipulation, and then the coffers are never way because we've had instances in the case of your friends say Alpha Condi, Nikrum manipulating elections at the extra way back home, extra term. Our Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, or Koyama, Aqua Alassane Ouattara, Yarafoya, Osisu, and Nayabaya, Sebi, Oba amended the constitution, or one Casa di Bican, Alaska, or that's to so a nay. Nina, as a result of that, people are able to manipulate the judicial system to get their way. So, if that is the scenario, a play out here, the judiciary cannot be trusted, the Electoral Commission cannot be trusted, and these are key and the most institutions are among for and the last remedy. That's these two institutions a backsliding to this extent where people who are leading it display nothing but children's ego, a very fragile and a very weak ego, or think say this or tell people say menso me wo ansana. Yeah, that is the attitude Jemensa adopted until where she has to slide down and have some consensus with the stakeholders, that will not come because Oba it will be interpreted as she's weak, so or she's on the high horse throwing out instructions everywhere. You call IPACA, the American ABT, but Alaska Electoral Commission, and Yen and Niger Padie, and Yen Papa Japadie, and Yen Mammy the Woo, the Jano, and your Ghana for institution, and I could father the Diano, and she will not be there forever. Alaska, we need to. And Tamaka going forward, such sensitive institutions, we don't need people with such fragile ego, people who are emotionally charged. So irritating any control. People who are emotionally not mature, we don't need them. Because Charlotte Serpens, Sanyama will be at the dinner when she started picking fight with the deputies. Among for Kenyans, Assembly now, she was not ready to batch this thing with them. The same trait now, and I'm with better now. Sabi, how to describe her, Alaska. We cannot sit here and toy with our state institutions. We cannot sit here and use the EC, weaponize the EC to endanger the prospect of future elections. We can't do that because Makacho said, Nana Makacho will say, so I had the kind of experiences Ghana for I'll go through under Akufo-Addo. The corruption, the mismanagement, the fact that Amanfo Musika Egu Bank Akam, the fact that corruption about the order of the day. Niamabonia Ekoso, the crackdown on state institutions, the crackdown on your friend dissenting views, dissent, Alaska. Ghana will die resisting any attempt by anybody to ensure say they will be disenfranchised. Their friends right to elect whoever lead them will be subverted. That is never going to happen. So that particular message, I think it should be quite resounding in the ears of people. Say Ghana will do anything within their means to resist any attempt by anybody. It doesn't matter being the military, it doesn't matter whoever, to resist any attempt by anybody to muzzle their way to ensure that this election is stolen. So it is better the platform yes certain strength for Obia Yama level ground. Ma Obia say toy party or say Hayo. I bet me I near my yard in the policies in the Ghana for be finding no quite worthy. Say you to me be man That must prevail. Any attempt by the state, say you use the muscles of the state, now you crack it down on people, using state institutions, hiding behind the electoral commission, the court. Then I say for because I don't know which political party or any of the stakeholders, maybe apart from Abaya or so. And the only Isinya, and as Onya case, election no problem, Bama, or the court.
And the question I was about to ask you is, so who was a major stakeholder like the NDC, 6 million plus? A catcher said 2024, mean quarter. And no, I tell you,
Alaska, me say, Cecia Yati has a CIA. Say Ghana and Tokwabesi, and I say in Tokwabesi as a result of elections. It is either the NDC or the MPP.
Very well.
Those toy parties, say they don't have followers. I can't see actually. So as a referee, always and always, your relationship must always be such that there will be trust and confidence. Because about so always and always, as a sensible and as a reasonable person leading such a sensitive institution, you must always work along with these people by building a very strong relationship. They may be dissatisfied, but that relationship must be there for the sake of peace.
Right. Because
say Alaska, the peace and tranquility you enjoy, calling ourselves a beacon of hope. Ghana is peaceful, is tranquil, and those stuff. No, Alaska, and maybe bedura. My culture say, Oko Sudana, a mountain of Mushe Muramo from her rebels. Once some were doctors. One some were nurses, some were professors, some were your friends engineers and as a fool. But situation abaye so repressive in now say they couldn't cope. Almost some arms at Muram do not in Muram area hanea. No crew a man kasa onimyansa. Sister bring a quote against them. That is why I to free fear aquatin Muram, but about fear Ebian Kubiti University HRD. Some are professors, some are doctors, some are engineers, some are this. But situation are making it possible for them and a new name at all, Mosa, rebels, or Mutim Rama, Mukura. Everything is possible. And Nema way you know, but Abra, the very democratic institutions, and I set it up a seahor, say, and I boy and Hobra. The institution must be fair, must be resolute, and must be impartial. No, it do a point, not somebody by the advantage of the factor or incumbent advantage, will manipulate and subject this institution to your friends saying those unruly manipulations, the yadi or Alaska. And maybe bedra, those who call themselves minority and other people realize that no, enough is enough. Right. And Yahoo, that enough, no several in Africa, Yahoo say, Sabi, among first say, shake up. Because you to know my culture say, those were the days, now people were misinformed. You had those few traditional media misinforming, selling their ignorance to people, thinking say that is the way the thing is. But then people can sit, go to the social media, research, do their own research. There are emerging information. Any young guy who is quite appreciative of politics today can just go on social media, can just Google whatever information. And they also have room to do comparative analysis. That is why some of the youth are on social media comparing things here to America and other places. Not because they are justifiable, but because that comparative platform has been created for such analysis. We really need to be very, very careful and tread cautiously and tread wisely.
And I say, Ivan J. Innocent, and within this takes us to 23 minutes to the top of the hour.